Test. Hey Tim, it's Mark. So this is I just took part of the seat that you sent and I'll show you how the flattener works. So I would just go in and select the pieces that I want flattened. So if I wanted all these pieces flattened, I could just select the pieces one by one, or I could rectangle select everything and flatten it. Then if I go into my layers, and just open this up a bit so you can read it. But so I have the pattern piece, the model, and the other pieces. I'll just make this the active layer, the pattern piece, and I'm just going to turn off these other layers. And if I go into my top view, and I'll expand that out, you can see these are all the flat pattern pieces, and I'll just go into shaded mode, and you can see this is what they look like. So this is that section of the seat that was flattened. And as I said, it's a two-step flattener. So that's the first step. And the next step I would do is I go through and I just simply pick pieces and what we call spring them. So anything that's white is pretty much completely flat. And I'll go through and flatten the rest of these. And just hit enter. And if I have a material in mind, I can go through and I can just use like a polyester or whatever, laminate for a car seat. I think there's some vinyls or something we have down here. Woven upholstery, outdoor fabric. Let's select that. And just hit OK. And it's just going to go through and flatten all these pieces to get them to a point where they can actually be sewn together. And so it's saying that I must have missed this piece here, but you can flatten that again. And just hit OK. And this one looks like it needs some flattening. Okay. The other thing is that the product will actually add notches. So I have a notch feature. I can add notches by just going to the edge and clicking. And as you add one notch, it actually adds a seam, a notch on the other side. So you can kind of quickly find where pieces go together, or you can put notches on pieces. This might not actually be attached to another piece. That could actually be a part of the substrate. Anyway, go through, add notch here. So there are notches over here. Yeah, one notch over here, one notch over there. I'll just close this. So as I said, it's easy to flatten. I can turn the notching off or on. Basically, when I go into this wheel here, it shows highlights, shows the legend. So as I said, red is like over 20% stress, white is 0, and black is sag. So there's a little bit of sag in this piece here, but other than that, everything else looks really well. And this might be, I know because there's gaps here, there's a way to flatten it. I'd fill the gaps in, flatten, and then trace it, do a trace command. Anyway, that's the long and short of it. Then I would just go here, export out a part. I'll just call it Tim. And if I can file, open. I'm not going to save this, and I'll just open up that Tim DXF. And it's in millimeters because I was working in millimeters. But these things are actually called the seams. So I have if I go into my options again, I have a 1/2 inch seam. sorry, quarter inch seam allowance. So it adds a quarter inch seam right around everything. My information here for my grain line, my cut, so I can turn that off, my cuts. My notching, so you can see the notch right here. It's one of the notches. Um, so the notching can be turned off and on. So all this can be done in the layers. And that's basically what it looks like. So that's the software in a nutshell. Um, Let me know if you have any questions.